UFC Fight Night Whittaker vs. Davey took place yesterday, and I'm going to recap the entire card, hear all the fights that took place. I'm going to start off with Marc-Andre versus Buchecha, and I'm going to work my way up to the main event, which is Robert Whittaker versus Reinier. We're going to see how it affects my prediction rate and the card prediction rate as well. So we're going to start off with a big fat 0. I said Buchecha would win this fight. Buday won it. Now, Buchecha is, I've been told, one of the best BJJ fighters to ever walk the face of the earth. This man was struggling to get a takedown against Martin Buday. When he got the takedown, he was struggling to pass his guard. Buchecha he's not going for submissions. In round number 1, Buchecha went 0-5 on takedowns. You are one of the best BJJ heavyweights of all time and you can't get a takedown? How are you going 0-5 on takedowns against Martin Buday? We go into round number 2. Finally gets a takedown. I mean, he controls him for the round, I guess, looks for some damage, but he could have taken an armbar like 4 times. Now, obviously, I know armbar from back position, it's not really a submission that happens a lot because if you fail the armbar, you're now on bottom position, basically. But your base is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I would be expecting him to look for an armbar on the ground. You're on that back position, you can look for that armbar. Buday probably won't be able to scramble out of it. He's terrible. We go into round number 3. Buchecha's gassed. Buday is just beating him up. Buchecha gets the fight to the ground and Buday just reverses on him and beats his head in. Buday won 29-28. That's another heavyweight prospect fraud checked. Moving on. Mohamod Yahya versus Stephen Ngai. 7 registered knockdowns officially. More like 12 because Ngai was unable to finish Mohamod Yahya under any circumstances whatsoever. Now obviously Jason Herzog could have stepped in about 4 times inside round number 1. That first round was a 10-7. Yahya's terrible as well, by the way. I'm going to touch on this. First knockdown was Yahya was walking into him with his hands low, walks forward and throws a body kick. Chin up in the air, gets clipped, gets sent straight down to the mat, gets back up, gets clipped again, he gets dropped in the clinch. He keeps getting dropped. He's throwing these flying knees and spinning back fists, which, fair enough. Bro's midway through getting 10-7, he's throwing spinning back fists and flying knees. So he gets 5-6 knockdowns inside round number 1. Herzog does not stop the fight. Herzog stopped the Teixeira versus Lewis fight last week when Teixeira tried to use the cage to climb back up. That's why he stopped that fight. He didn't stop this fight when Mohamod Yahya was literally just barely defending himself. He was getting beaten up. We go into round number 2. Round 1 was a 10-7. We go into round number 2. Yahya rocks him again. He gets another knockdown. Ngai was about 7 knockdowns deep onto Mohamod Yahya. And Yahya catches him with an overhand right and stumbles Ngai backwards. Ngai is now stumbling around with Yahya chasing him. It was crazy scenes. Yahya couldn't do anything with it. Ngai recovers and then just goes back to wailing on Mohamod Yahya again. We get to like knockdown number 8. Mohamod Yahya's eye is swollen up. He has a fractured orbital. His eye is bleeding. He's got a massive hematoma on the side of his face. End of round number 2. I gave it to Ngai 10-9 because it was, you know, he got wobbled. But the referee stops it to an eye injury, which is insane. It's insane how the fight with 9 knockdowns in it gets stopped to an eye injury. Ngai wins by round 2 TKO via an eye injury doctor stoppage. So this was absolutely insane, absolute scenes. We're going to move on to the next fight, which absolutely killed the momentum of the card completely. Ibo Aslan versus Billy Elenkana. My prediction for this fight was a round 1 KO for Ibo Aslan. Boy, was I wrong. Ibo Aslan, I don't know what happened to this guy. His last fight, he came out fast. The fight before that, he came out fast. The fight before that, he came out fast. Round number 1, Ibo Aslan's landing nothing. Elenkana is landing a jab and he's landing a teep. And every so often, he would throw a straight left hand. It's a southpaw, so that's his backhand, basically. He would throw that once and he would throw a teep down the middle. And that was round number 1 for you. Literally nothing happened. Round number 2, oh yeah, another thing. These guys are sat here laughing at each other, having a nice joke and a giggle, where we're watching these guys having a borderline sparring match. Round 2, Elenkana is literally just teeping him and landing straight left hands. This is the fight, by the way. This is the entire fight. Round number 3, I mean, realistically, Elenkana's landed a jab, really did any damage at all. He wins 3-0. I think we should cut them both from the sport. The worst part is, though, Ibo Aslan had his hands up at the end thinking he won that fight. He did nothing for 3 straight rounds, hit with a jab and a tee. Barely hit Elenkana, did nothing. He had his hands up in the air and then complained the fact that he lost and looked surprised. Like, what? How did I lose that? Cut him both from the sport. Moving on. Amanda Ribas versus Tabatha Ricci. I thought this fight would be worse. I'm not going to lie. So I took the first round off. But, well, I mean, I watched round number 1. Ricci held her against the cage for 3 minutes. They both looked awful. Round number 2. Ricci starts breaking her against the fence. She lands a elbow to the eye socket of Amanda Ribas, straight into the eye. It was point to the elbow, into the eyeball. That must have hurt real bad. Drops her to the floor, breaks her. Tabatha Ricci just hits decent ground and pound. Fight gets called off. Round 2 TKO. Round number 2 was just Ricci holding against the cage and decided to land a little bit more damage, and it worked. So good win for Tabatha Ricci. I said she would win. She just didn't win the way I said she would. Moving on. Davey Grant versus Blackshear. I said Blackshear would win by submission. I said Davey Grant would win 1 round, Blackshear would win 1, and then Blackshear would get the sub in the 3rd. I was close. I was right about the first 2 rounds. Blackshear won the first round. He out-grappled Grant, implemented his game very well. Grant did good at defending submissions, though, off his back, not allowing him to progress to very dominant positions. And it was good to see from a 39-year-old anyway, coming off neck surgery as well. Round number 2, Grant starts piecing him. Grant clearly won this round, in my opinion. He kept landing a 1-2-3 head kick. A lot of Grant's, output was being blocked by the guard of Blackshear. But I thought Grant clearly won round number 2, 10-9, in my opinion. We move into round number 3. Blackshear can't get his takedowns. His legs are getting chewed up by Davey Grant. He is a ranked level opponent, in my opinion. 29-28, Davey Grant. I got this one wrong, but it was a very interesting fight to watch. I enjoyed it. Big ups Davey Grant. Unk's getting it done at 39 years old. Moving on. Muslim Salikov versus Carlos Leal. I said Carlos Leal would get this done within the first 4 minutes of the round. He got knocked out within 40 seconds. Now, he was a huge favourite to win this fight. Don't get me wrong. I think he was like a 6-1 favourite over Muslim Salikov. And the way I said he would get it done is he has to pressure Muslim Salikov, stop him from landing the leg kicks, and basically just bully him, which is Carlos Leal's whole style, effectively. And he was kind of doing that. He was landing a 1-2, but he had this weird wide stance, and he was slowly walking towards him and pressuring him. And Muslim Salikov, he landed a counter right hook right onto the temple of Carlos Leal, drops him, puts him out cold, walk-off KO within 40 seconds. Insane from Muslim Salikov. That is 2 first-round back-to-back flatline KOs for Muslim Salikov. But Leal, he walked towards him. I said he would have walked. I said he's going to walk him down. I said he needed to walk him down. And he did. It's just the way he did it was a little bit... He left himself very open to hooks from Muslim Salikov. And he got put out cold because of it. So that's unfortunate, but I got this one wrong. Moving on. I got this one perfect, though. Bryce Mitchell versus Saeed Nurmagomedov. Okay, so my prediction for this fight was Saeed will win round number 1. He's a very good round 1 fighter. Mitchell will then put the pressure on him. He will gas Saeed Nurmagomedov out. I said Saeed would land a lot of these spinning attacks. He would crack Mitchell a few times inside round number 1. And then Mitchell would slowly start to wear on him using his size advantage in this fight. And that's exactly what happened. So round number 1, Mitchell was trying to work an oblique kick to try and slow down the speed and erratic kicks of Saeed Nurmagomedov. Saeed's basically just cracking him with big shots. He's cracking him with a left hook every now and then. He's landing these wheel kicks. He drops him badly with a knee as well. Bryce Mitchell's on his back. Mitchell defends pretty well. Saeed jumps into his guard. Saeed wins round number 1 with good leg kicks, cracking Mitchell a lot with the striking, and he drops him with a knee as well. So I think Saeed 10-9 round number 1. Round number 2, Bryce shoots immediately. He looks for a straight arm lock. He can't get the straight arm lock. He didn't really do much damage inside round number 2, but he did control Saeed for the entire round. And Saeed Nurmagomedov didn't do any damage either, by the way. So when we look at how we score rounds, if the damage statistics are very close, it goes on to control time and who had the most effective grappling. Bryce Mitchell looking for a straight arm lock from side control is effective grappling. I scored it Bryce Mitchell. I think he won round number 2. Moving on to round number 3. Bryce, he almost shoves his head into a mounted guillotine. He gets out of it, luckily. He does more control inside round number 3. Not a lot of damage. Quite a boring fight style. But he did get this one done. As I said, he would get it done by decision. So I got this one right. And I got it as a perfect prediction. So I'm very happy with this one. Moving on. Nikita Krylov versus Bogdan Gustov. I said Gustov would get this done by round 1 KO. He got it done by round 1 KO. Now, I said he would also get it done within the first 4 minutes of the fight. And he got it done 4 minutes, 18 seconds. So I was 18 seconds off getting a perfect prediction. But Nikita Krylov, he's coming off a round 1 KO to Dominic Reyes. That was 3 months ago. I don't know what he's doing. Terrible management of his career. Good win for Bogdan Gustov, though. It was I think it was an overhand right. No, it was a straight right hand that dropped him. So Bogdan Gustov drops him with a straight right hand, puts Nikita Krylov out cold. Up until that point, Krylov was taking the center of the octagon for the first 2 minutes of the round, and he was looking very good and very dangerous. Landing good leg kicks, throwing a lot as well. He was kind of walking forwards and throwing. And then roughly around the midpoint of the round, about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, Krylov stops putting the pressure on. Gustov then takes the center of the octagon. He starts putting the pressure on Krylov. Gustov has amazing footwork, very good head movement. He's avoiding the big shots of Krylov. There's one point in the round where Krylov threw like a 4-punch combination. None of them landed. Gustov managed to avoid every single one of them, showing that he does have that superior head movement. Gustov then drops him with a straight right hand as Krylov just walks into him. He walks forward and throws a jab, and Gustov just catches him with a straight right hand. Gustov catches him with a straight right hand, puts him down. Referee could have stopped it earlier, to be honest. Shouldn't be taking that many shots of ground and pound after being badly hurt, but Gustov gets it done, round 1 KO, just as I said he would. 18 seconds later than I thought he would, though. So that's unfortunate, but I got it right. Perfect prediction again. Moving on. Almabyev versus Jose Ochoa. Close fight. I know it's 30-27, but it was close fight. Every single round was pretty close, but you knew Almabyev won all 3. Round number 1, I'll break this down. My prediction for this fight was a round 2 KO for Ochoa. I thought he would get it done with more volume punches, but Almabyev just wouldn't stop shooting takedowns. I guess he shot 16 takedowns inside 15 minutes. Almabyev, he gets the back inside round number 1, trying to hold the back position for most of the round. Ochoa gets the back to end the round. Pretty close first round, to be honest. Very close on damage, but back to what I said about the Mitchell point. If it's close on damage, Almabyev had the better grappling exchanges. He had more control time, and he had the more effective grappling inside the first round. You give round 1 to Almabyev based on control, pretty much. We go into round number 2. Almabyev is still really controlling him, but Ochoa is defending really well off his back. So Ochoa is in a position where he's trying to make his guard as dangerous as possible for Almabyev. So Almabyev just doesn't lie on him, basically. So he's landing these goods, hammer fists from bottom position onto the head of Almabyev. Ochoa tries to work on an armbar and then a triangle to end the round, which is effective grappling, to be honest. So you could argue Ochoa wins that round based on damage and effective grappling, but kind of hard to argue if Almabyev is sat on top of him, because that's technically a dominant position, but I would argue a armbar and a triangle attempt, as well as defending off your back. If you're getting hit from top position in full mount, you're not in a dominant position. If you're getting your head smacked by hammer fists every 5 seconds, you're not in that dominant of a position where you can really call it effective grappling, in my opinion. So I think there's a big argument for Ochoa round 2, to be honest. We go into round number 3. Almabyev's holding against the fence. Bruv, Ochoa jumps a guillotine. This annoyed me at the time so much. Ochoa jumps a guillotine. Why are we jumping guillotines in MMA? They don't work, and if you fail and you mess up, you're now in bottom position in an MMA fight. And it's even worse in this fight because Almabyev was trying to get Ochoa down for the entire round. Why are we taking yourself to the ground and putting Almabyev in the position he wants to be in? Really annoyed me, especially because I picked Ochoa to win this fight. Almabyev stays on top position for the rest of the round. Terrible, stupid move. Almabyev wins round number 3. 29-28 or 30-27 in my opinion. I got it wrong. Very annoyed about this one, especially with the jumping the guillotine, but whatever. Moving on. Shara Magomedov versus Marc-Andre Barriult. Boy, I said I didn't rate Shara Magomedov, and I said it may be survivor's bias because he lost his last fight against MVP. But I'm just saying here, I think I've been proven correct because Marc-Andre Barriult is no special fighter. This is a guy in Marc-Andre Barriult who is, 6-8-1 in the UFC? No, by no means a talented fighter. Shara Magomedov made it too close for comfort with Marc-Andre Barriult. Round number 1, Shara's winning. He's focusing on the leg kicks. Marc-Andre Barriult is kind of like autistically walking towards him and with a tight guard and not really throwing much. He's kind of just walking towards him and shuffling towards him. Shara's just moving around, kicking. He's too fast for him. Barriult's just trying to shoot, look for the body lock. He lands a few takedowns, to be fair to him. Shara Magomedov cheated twice by grabbing the fence and the referee did nothing. Just going to throw it out there. Referee did nothing to stop the fence grabs of Shara Magomedov. But, whatever. So Marc-Andre Barriult lands a few takedowns, but Shara basically just loads of outside movement, kicks him in the legs a few times. Yeah, whatever. We move into round number 2. What happened here was Shara was still doing his thing, but he's getting comfortable. He's landing hook kicks, spinning back fists. He's throwing a lot. He's throwing a lot of special strikes. He's getting comfortable. He's looking comfortable on the feet. Marc-Andre Barriult cracks him with a right hand, breaks Shara Magomedov's nose. Look, and then he basically just tries to chase him down. Barriult is chasing him down. Magomedov's hurt, wobbling backwards. Can't seem to get the finish. What he ends up doing is he ends up getting into clinch with Shara Magomedov. Shara has amazing clinch striking. That's probably the best part of his game, except for like the really, obscure kicks that he likes to throw. His best part of his game is the clinch game. Shara then starts beating him up in the clinch. Almost finishes him at the end of that round. I thought Barriult won because he almost had Shara out, but then looking back at it, Shara almost had him out. So it's like a 50-50, but very close round in my opinion. I gave it to Barriult, but you could give it to Shara Magomedov. It's a close round. We go into round number 3. Shara focuses a lot more in the clinch inside round number 3. He's not throwing as many spin kicks or being as wild, mainly just beating Marc-Andre Barriult up in the clinch. Barriult was trying to scramble towards a body lock against the fence and try and drag him down. Shara is defending, but again with the fence grabs. But I think Shara definitely won this round in my opinion, 10-9. He wins the fight. So I got this one correct. I said a round 3 KO or decision. He got it done by decision, but boy, we overhyped this man to the nth degree because he is not what we thought he was. And I know against the MVP would beat any pure striker at all. Like a guy like Ian Gary, who has very good range management and is an amazing striker, he had to mix the grappling up against MVP, so he was always going to beat Shara Magomedov. But against a guy like Marc-Andre Barriult, you're making it this close and almost getting finished. It ain't in good luck. I'll say that. Moving on, Petr Yan versus Marcus McGee. I said Yan would win this by decision. I said he would win the second and third round because McGee is very good inside round number 1. This was true. Yan came out with a very high and tight guard. He always has a high guard. It's always how he likes to fight. So a lot of McGee's punches were landing to the guard of Petr Yan. He couldn't really break the guard of Yan. It's very difficult to try and break through the guard of Petr Yan because he always keeps his hands so high. But round number 1 was Marcus McGee. It was close, don't get me wrong. Marcus McGee did win that first round, but it was close. It was a close round. Yan could have won it arguably on a scorecard, but I thought McGee won round number 1. He also landed 2 big shots late, which kind of really sold the round in my opinion. I thought he won it before that, but then he landed these 2 shots that kind of like stung Yan a little bit. That really just kind of pushed it over the edge for me. We go into round number 2. Very close on the numbers inside round number 2, but Yan's shots were doing more damage. I gave round 2 to Petr Yan because even though they were close, the numbers were close. Yan's shots were a lot more damaging than Marcus McGee's, which is why we can't go off significant strike numbers because it depends how significant the strikes are. But I thought Petr Yan won that one easily. McGee was still in it though, so first 2 minutes of round number 2, McGee looked his best. He looked the best of the entire fight, in my opinion. So he looked very good inside the first 2 minutes, but after that, Yan just kind of started to pull away a little bit, and that trend then continued into the third round. But the third round was mostly spent Yan holding Marcus McGee against the fence, basically. So Yan just held Marcus McGee against the fence, kneed him to the thigh. McGee just refused to do anything else other than just, sit against the fence, really. I think the referee said, you have to work, guys, you have to work, advance this position. And then McGee thought, okay, no, if I just stay here, the referee will break us up. 1 minute goes by, nothing happens. 2 minutes go by, nothing happens. 3 minutes go by, nothing happens. They eventually break. Petr Yan lands the Hisagari trip on him, which is his signature trip. Gets it done, in my opinion. Round number 3, wins it 29-28. Yan still got it. Stick him in there against Marab. Let him get 50-45 again. Moving on to the main event. Robert Whittaker versus Reinier de Ridder. I said Reinier would get it done by round 2 submission. He got it done by decision. This was a very close fight. In my opinion, Whittaker round 1 and round 3. De Ridder round 2, 4, and 5. Round 1, De Ridder shot 3 times. Whittaker stuffed all of them. Very good takedown defense shown by Robert Whittaker inside this fight. De Ridder is just awkward. He's so goofy, man. This man makes Dricus du Plessis look like a technical genius. Whittaker was working the 1-2 very well inside round number 1. I said he would do that. I said he would find the jab. He would follow up with a secondary strike. He would look very slick inside round number 1. And that did happen. So Whittaker was fighting exactly how I said he would fight. De Ridder would look to bully him in the clinch, which he was doing, by the way. So amazing picks by me. We go into round number 2. It's pretty much the same as round number 1, but De Ridder starts landing his lead jab a little bit more, which is something that I needed to do in this fight. As soon as he started landing the jab, he was able to start working his clinch game more effectively with his knees. That was shown about a minute later, where he lands a good knee against Whittaker, kind of goes oof, and then falls to the ground. De Ridder then sits on top position, landing ground and pound strikes for the next 3 minutes of the fight. Yeah, round 2, Reinier De Ridder. We go into round number 3. De Ridder hurts Robert Whittaker with knees. And pretty, goofy strikes, but he lands a good one onto the chin of Robert Whittaker. And Whittaker, at this point, I thought, okay, Reinier's really putting the pressure on him here. What does Whittaker do? He's going to gas out. Whittaker then hits him with the perfect overhand right, badly rocking and dropping Reinier de Ridder. Reinier de Ridder is then on the ground. He doesn't know what's going on. Whittaker's trying to finish the fight. He's landing big ground and pound shots. De Ridder does also hook the glove, though, which stops Whittaker from landing his ground and pound strikes, basically. So it is cheating. De Ridder cheated to stop Whittaker from landing those strikes. If De Ridder doesn't hook the glove, does Whittaker finish him? Probably not. But we're now in this situation midway through round number 3, where Whittaker is now gassed because he's just spent the past minute and a half trying to finish this lanky guy, and he's failed, basically. De Ridder lands a takedown a minute later. This is real bad for Robert Whittaker because he's now on bottom position. Reinier de Ridder's got 2 minutes to work inside a round which Whittaker exhausted himself a lot. He then leapfrogs the guard. So, usually in MMA, you try and go from full guard to half guard to side control and then to mount. Reinier de Ridder jumps the guard, like he tries leapfrogging it into side control. Bro tries jumping over the guard of Robert Whittaker. He ends up in side control, which, fair enough. We go into round number 4. Much slower pace. These two guys are gassed. Reinier de Ridder starts pushing him up against the fence and trying to break him. So he's landing a lot of tippy-tappy strikes. If we look at the strike numbers inside this fight, the significant strike numbers are pretty close, but Reinier de Ridder outstruck him in terms of like the tippy-tappy strikes, 70 to 180. Very big difference on the little tippy-tappy strikes. Through round number 4, Reinier de Ridder pushes him up against the fence. Robert Whittaker, he's trying to escape inside round number 4. He pushes de Ridder off him, and then de Ridder waddles back towards him and then just, gets back on him right away. So round number 4 goes to Reinier de Ridder. Pretty close round, not really a lot happens, but Robert Whittaker did barely anything. We go into round number 5. Whittaker starts somewhat faster. He's looking a little bit slick, but he's throwing like these jabs the same way he was inside round number 1, but he can't follow up with a second strike, and he's not really landing his jab either. So he's kind of like, he's trying to blitz forward and land his jab, but he's not landing the jab. He's too slow, he's too tired to land the jab. Reinier de Ridder just packs him up against the fence, pushes him up against the cage, bullying him in the clinch again, using his frame, landing the tippy-tappy strikes. And then Robert Whittaker looks kind of broken, to be fair. He's not trying to escape. Robert Whittaker is hooking the body lock on Reinier de Ridder, basically just trying to stop him from progressing to a takedown. Just trying to take him down and submit him, basically. So Reinier de Ridder wins round number 5, in my opinion. Whittaker did nothing inside that round. Either way, 48-47, Reinier de Ridder win by decision. That's my recap of the fight. That's my recap of the fight card. This placed 17th in terms of my all-time predictions. Pretty bad on the predictions. I went 7-5, so I did all right, but it's one of my worst cards, or my worser cards, I should say. I'm finishing it with a 64% prediction rate overall. But that's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.